And when we do that, they'll murder each other in the street.
enemy of happiness.
Hello. Welcome to today's edition of Humor Hour, the show where you tell me jokes. Well, actually, I tell the jokes, but you send them in. And the first joke comes from Mr. Prentice Gibson of Claverton Town. Mr. Gibson says, what?
Wakey, wakey, everyone. It's another fabulous day in Wellington Wells. It's your dear friend, Uncle Jack, with a few brief tips that'll help you get along. The most important one, of course, is don't forget to take your joy. Drink plenty of water, too. Good thing there's joy in the water, eh? And eat plenty of nutritious food. May I be the first to recommend our local delicacy, V-meat. Of course, be very careful to stay away from downers.
I just want them to stop screaming.
Fortunately, most of these sad lunatics live in the Garden District, and no decent person goes there. It's full of dangerous maniacs who won't take their joy.
Good night!
Obey all official signs. They're for your safety and protection. Make friends with your fellow citizens. Talk to them.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Visit them. Wellies love a friendly guest. We Wellies do love our games. It's important to stay young at heart. So use our playgrounds. After all, if we don't, who on earth will? Obey police officers. They're there to protect you. Remember, they're the only ones who are supposed to be out at night. Wellington Wells is always a delightful place. If you just do like everyone else is doing and take your joy, you'll have a splendid time. And if you don't...
One less mouth to feed, eh? I think that's the best one of all. Very good. Well, it's getting late, isn't it? And it's time for all good wellies to cuddle up in bed. You don't want to be out after dark, do you? Foggy Jack might come for you. And then where would you be? In several places at once, wouldn't you? Would you like me to read you a bedtime story? Of course you would. Well, curl up in front of the telly, and Uncle Jack will tell you a story. Tonight's story is called Hansel and Gretel. Once upon a time there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and his two aged parents. The old man's name was Hansel, and the old woman's name was Gretel. There was little to eat, and when a hard winter came across the land, so hard that the wolves prowled the crossroads at night, the woodcutter could no longer feed his parents. He lay in bed with his wife, and they discussed what to do. The woodcutter's wife said, "Here's what we do, Liebling. We will lead them deep into the woods, yeah? To gather the firewood, okay? And then we will trick them, and we will leave them there. And natürlich, there will be enough bread for the both of them." Everyone is talking about the shocking thing that happened yesterday. You know what I'm talking about. I have it on good authority that it was not at all what you might have thought it was. And in any event, the responsible parties are taking steps to make sure it never happens again. In the meantime, keep calm and carry on. And don't forget to take your joy. And the weather report is rain, rain, go away, come back again some other day. Remember, gentlemen, while rainwater goes down smooth in a whiskey, it does not contain joy. So, If you like to collect rainwater for tempering your constitutional, please remember to adjust your dose accordingly. And the weather is delightfully sunny, inside and out. Who doesn't love an English spring? I expect to see nothing but smiles out there. In fact, anything but smiles out there is strictly forbidden. Also, extremely unlikely, unless someone's happy face falls off. Can you imagine that? Better make sure it's not you. In case you might have heard a loud explosion coming from the general direction of the Victory Memorial Camp, don't worry, it wasn't someone blowing themselves up on the minefield. It was merely the members of the Home Army testing their ordnance. Mortar shells apparently don't last forever, and there's nothing more frustrating. Everyone is talking about the shocking thing that happened yesterday. You know what I'm talking about. Every now and then, you might see someone who seems to be sleeping on the path or even in the middle of the road. Now, we all know that the middle of the road is not the most comfortable place to sleep, and it's rather inconvenient for the rest of us. We might trip on them. So, what's going on? Well, the first thing to find out is if they're sleeping or if they're just lying there. Are their eyes open? If you shake them, do they make sounds? Let's suppose their eyes are open and they seem responsive to you. There's a possibility that they're feeling too sad to get up. In that case, you're dealing with a downer. And we all know what to do with a downer, don't we? Offer them joy. If they won't take it, round up a few people near you and make sure they take it. If their eyes are closed but they seem responsive, then they may be sick. It's probably best to prop them up in a building and let a doctor know. You don't want to spend too much time with a sick person. You might get sick too, and doctors know just what to do with sick people after all, and you don't. But what to do if they don't respond? It's possible that they've passed on. Now, there's no need for you to deal with a dead body on the street. The authorities are fully capable of dealing with any deceased citizens and will properly dispose of their remains. And what you should definitely not do is stand there gawping. You don't want to draw a crowd, and it's not healthy to stare at a dead body. It might bring you down. So just leave the body there and move on. And if you see a lot of people walking past someone in the middle of the street, well, you can safely trust that they've already realized there's nothing further they can do for that person. Just pretend that the person in the street is not there. Sooner or later they won't be. Take it from me, Uncle Jack.